So if something happens, blame her, not me.
Oh, no.
If folks want to come sit down, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
We like seeing that on the video, too.
Jack, let us know when you're ready to begin.
Good morning. I have the honor to serve as the board chair for the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. My name is Sarah Cates. On behalf of the board of directors, I want to welcome you today. We are so glad that you could join us this morning as we announce our 2022 Hall of Fame inductees, made possible this year by FICO. Thank you, FICO. Let me also begin by thanking a few folks today, including Belmont University, Dean Doug Howard, and the special efforts of Mike Porter, who is here with us today, for the use of this great space. We're honored to be in the historic Columbia Studio A, where many of our Hall of Fame members, including Buddy Holly, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Johnny Cash, have recorded iconic songs. The Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame Foundation is a nonprofit dedicated to honoring Nashville's richest legacy of songwriting through preservation, celebration, and education. Induction into the Hall of Fame is one of the nation's most highly prized songwriting achievements. Since 1970, the Hall of Fame has enshrined more than 220 of the greatest writers from all genres of music ever to put words to music in Music City. Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame is the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Now to make our special announcement today as our executive director, please welcome Mark Ford.
Thank you, Sarah. Hello, everyone. I do echo Sarah's thanks to Belmont University and especially to Mike Porter. Thank you, Mike. You make all this possible for us. And now it's my honor to introduce this year's class. We begin with the 20-year songwriter category. Leading us off, we have a Washington, Georgia native who moved to Nashville in 1994 to attend Belmont University. During her senior year, she signed her first publishing deal. In 2002, she celebrated her first #1 hit, Blessed by Martina McBride. In 2005, our future inductee to be scored Carrie Underwood's first single from her first album, Jesus Take the Wheel, a multi-genre hit that earned the 2006 Grammy for Best Country Song, as well as the 2006 ASCAP Country Song of the Year, the 2006 NSAI Song of the Year, and the 2005 ACM Single of the Year. In fact, Carrie has recorded nearly 40, it may be 50 by now, what time is it, of this writer's songs, including So Small and Wasted. Other chart-topping hits from this writer include American Honey by Lady Antebellum, A Little Bit Stronger by Sarah Evans, and Shotgun Rider by Tim McGraw. But wait, there's more. Girl Crush by Little Big Town earned the 2015 Grammy for Best Country Song, the 2015 CMA Song and Single of the Year, and the 2015 NSAI Song of the Year. Blue Ain't Your Color by Keith Urban was the 2017 CMA Single of the Year and the 2017 NSAI Song of the Year. And then there was I'll Never Love Again by Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper from the film A Star is Born. That song earned the 2019 Grammy for Best Song Written for Visual Media. This writer was the ACM Songwriter of the Year in 2019, 2020, and 2021. We are proud to welcome Hillary Lindsay to the class of 2022.
you. Thank you so much. Here I go. I wasn't expected to get tearful. I was crying the other day, and when I was going through my daughter's clothes, she's 6.5, and I finally decided to go through her newborn clothes. And I started bawling. And I said, I got to get back to work the next day. And she said, Mama, just don't do those waterworks. So thanks for bringing on the waterworks again. I wasn't expecting that. This is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. It truly is. Thank you, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, for this incredible honor. I can't believe it. I really can't. And it's really hard to find the words to even express exactly how I feel. Lots of different emotions going on. But I am extremely humbled to be a part of this year's class of nominees. Truly, I am. Just the thought of my name even being thrown in the hat is mind-blowing to me. And I just want everyone to know that I am so grateful and so thankful for this honor. And thank you guys for always taking care of all of us songwriters and artists in the way that you do with such a beautiful tradition like this. And I'm so grateful. I truly am. Thank you so very much.
Also from the 20-year songwriter category, we have a Dallas-Fort Worth area native who received his first guitar at age 10. He wrote songs and played in rock bands throughout his teens before moving with his college band to Los Angeles. Following a stint on an MCA Records imprint, this writer returned to his native Texas in 1973. A song he sent to Nashville made it onto the 1980 soundtrack of Urban Cowboy 2. Thanks to good friend and producer Jim Ed Norman. With that success, our future inductee to be moved to Music City, where he worked as a guitar player and a songwriter for Jim Ed's publishing company. In 1983, Your Love Shines Through by Mickey Gilley gave this writer his first top 5 song and paved the way for future successes, such as That's the Thing About Love by Don Williams, The Power of Love by Charlie Pride, Working Without a Net, Waylon Jennings, Brilliant Conversationalists by T. Graham Brown, One More Last Chance by Vince Gill, Live, Laugh, Love by Clay Walker, She Couldn't Change Me by Montgomery Gentry, and Squeeze Me In by Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. This writer's song, Fallin' and Flyin', was performed by Jeff Bridges and Colin Farrell in the 2009 film Crazy Heart. He has 600 recorded songs spanning multiple genres. In 2011, he was inducted into the Texas Heritage Songwriters Hall of Fame. We are proud to welcome Gary Nicholson to the class of 2022.
Thank you so much to the Hall of Fame. I came here in 1980, and I think I've attended the Hall of Fame inductions through the years and just never imagined that things would evolve after these 42 years, that this would actually occur. So like Hillary, I'm blown away with it, but I voted for Hillary. The astounding success of that. But the thing I want to say is that I am a product of this environment, this community of amazing songwriters and publishers, and it was that synergy, that community that shaped me and gave me a way. I had not written songs co-written before I got here, and co-writing became the thing to do, and I learned so much from every one of my collaborators, and still do learn from all of them. But that's the main thing I want to hold up, is the value of our songwriting community. It's amazing, and thank you so much for this amazing honor. Thank you.
From our 30-year veteran songwriter category, we have a California native who moved with his family from Los Angeles to Nashville at age 13. He took his first guitar lesson at 15 and immediately knew that he wanted to write and produce music for a living. After a pair of early singles by Sammy Smith and Carmel Taylor, this writer's first major success as a songwriter came through his collaboration with Eddie Rabbitt and Even Stevens. Together, the trio wrote and produced classic chart-topping hits for Rabbitt, such as Driving My Life Away, I Love a Rainy Night, Step by Step, Someone Could Lose a Heart Tonight, Gone Too Far, and You Can't Run from Love. Rabbitt's Suspicions, which was also a hit for Tim McGraw in 2008, was BMI's 1980 Country Song of the Year. Love Will Turn You Around by Kenny Rogers was named ASCAP's 1983 Country Song of the Year. Other hits from this writer's catalog include Real Love by Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers and One Honest Heart by Reba McEntire. We're proud to welcome David Malloy to the class of 2022.
Well, sorry. I used to be an engineer in this studio before I started producing, working with Lynn Anderson and Glenn Sutton, and I have to think about my father and his friends with Jack Clement and come over to the house and hang out with us, and Mickey Newberry, who had just come to town, and Dad gave him a place to live. He lived with us for a couple of months because he didn't have any place to stay, and Roy Orbison was coming out, and these were just friends of my dad's and people, and they were bigger than life, and they filled up the room, and I was in awe of them, and thought I could never be big like that, but I want to write and I want to make records, and I told my dad I want to start a publishing company. He says, okay, well, go find us a songwriter. Okay, so the same day, I saw a guy that I'd met before and jumped out of the car, and I said, are you Even Stevens? And he looked at me and said, are you a bill collector? And I said no, and that was the start, and he hung out and wrote with a guy named Eddie Rabbitt, and that was where we started, and started making the records, and I started writing with him, and yeah, it was a great run, and I got to work with so many incredible, talented people through the years between writing and my production. And I want to thank my daughter who's here for all the hours. She didn't see me because I was working so much. Thank you, my sweet wife. The Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, I first heard about it when I was 15 years old. When Maggie Cavender came to the house to talk to my dad to say she was going to start a Songwriter Hall of Fame, what do you think? I'm going to do this. And so I always had that in my head. I never really thought that I would be in here, because I thought back to Cowboy and all those people and thought I could never aspire to be like that, you know. So to be here with these great talents today that I admire so much, I'm just so grateful and so thankful to the Nashville Songwriter Hall of Fame and Mark and everybody, and thank you so much.
And now for our artists. In our 20-year songwriter artist category, we have a native of Windsor, Ontario, Canada, who began writing songs and fronting a local cover band while still in high school. After graduation, she toured Ontario with another band before returning home in 1987 to care for her younger siblings after their parents died in a car accident. She continued to perform, and 5 years later was signed to Mercury Nashville. Since the release of her debut album in 1993, our inductee to be has placed 22 self-penned top 20 songs on the Billboard charts, including 7 number ones and 8 more in the top 10. Among those compositions are You're Still the One, which earned the 1998 Grammy for Best Country Song and the 1999 BMI Country Song of the Year. Come On Over, the 1999 Grammy for Best Country Song, and Forever and For Always, the 2004 BMI Country Song of the Year. Along with You've Got a Way, If You're Not In It for Love, I'm Out of Here, Love Gets Me Every Time, No One Needs to Know, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, which has 2 exclamation points in the title. I love that. From This Moment On, and That Don't Impress Me Much. She was named NSAI's 1998 Songwriter Artist of the Year, as well as BMI's 1999 Country Songwriter of the Year and 2000 Country Songwriter of the Year. She was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame in 2011. We're proud to welcome Shania Twain to the class of 2022. Now, as you can guess from me still standing here, Shania was unable to be with us today. She's at home in Switzerland enjoying some much-needed downtime. We trust that she's watching, and we send our congratulations. Rounding us out from the 30-year Veteran Songwriter Artist category, we have a Noblesville, Indiana native who was discovered by Dottie West, who subsequently convinced the talented 17-year-old to join her band. Years later, our inductee-to-be met his idol, Chad Atkins, who hired him as a bass player and eventually signed him to his first recording contract at RCA Records. His credits as a songwriter include his own recordings of You Can Dream of Me, Baby I'm Yours, Precious Thing, I Got Dreams, Where Did I Go Wrong, 2 Teardrops, and Holes in the Floor of Heaven. That one was named the 1998 CMA Song and Single of the Year and the 1998 ACM Song of the Year. Pardon me. This writer-artist has also written hits for other artists, including Nothing But the Tail Lights by Clint Black, Where the Blacktop Ends by Keith Urban, and Long Neck Bottle, a duet that he recorded with Garth Brooks. This writer-artist was inducted into the cast of the Grand Ole Opry in 1996. In 2009, he was inducted into the National Thumbpickers Hall of Fame, and soon he will join our Hall of Fame. We're proud to welcome Steve Wariner to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Sitting there pinching myself. What a great class. I'm honored to be in with all you guys. And I say thanks to the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. And a dream come true for a young kid in Indiana that only dreams of this kind of stuff. I used to play in a band with my dad when I was a kid, and he wrote songs, and I was astounded at how he did that. And I tried to do that. I think I wrote my first song at about 14 years old. Thank God no one will ever hear that song or any of those early ones. But then as Mark said, I hooked up with Dottie West and worked for her for about 3 years. I would come on the bus. We would go out for a tour, and just about every week she would say, "What did you write this week? What did you write? I want to hear your songs." She was my teacher, and I tell people that I went to the Dottie West School of Music. I always like to throw in there, too, that she's the first female country artist that ever won a Grammy, and she wrote the song, Here Comes My Baby, in 1964. So that's girl power, way a long time ago, so I love that. And then I worked, she signed me to my first writer's contract with First Generation, which was administered by Combine, which I was bragging all the time. Yeah, I write with Chris Christopherson over at Combine, so I was 18 years old, so. But anyway, I went to work for the great Bob Luman after with Dottie, and I remember I found myself in the studio out in Hendersonville at the House of Cash. Bob asked me to play on a record of his, and he wanted to record 4 of my songs. His neighbor was producing the album. His neighbor was named Johnny Cash, who I know is recorded in this room a bunch. And I found myself in the control room with Johnny's guitar playing. I was the demo. I was singing the songs for 1976 Johnny Cash, and he said, "Let's cut that 4 times." And I thought, oh, I got my first 4 cuts. The first songs I ever had recorded. I was 22, and Johnny could not have been nicer. He was everything you would think he would be, and was all through the years every time he saw me. And of course, the wonderful Bob Luman passed away at age 42, and those were my first songs. And I remember going into Patsy Bradley's office at BMI, and I sat down and I said, "Miss Patsy, I'd like to start a publishing company." And she said, "Well, honey, you need to have songs recorded first, and that's kind of the protocol." And I said, "Do 4 songs on a Columbia album produced by Johnny Cash. The artist is Bob Luman, count?" And she goes, "Yeah, that counts. It's going to work." So I started my company in '76, and everything I've ever written is in that same company. And here I am today. It's like a dream come true. And I will close by saying there's so many other writers that probably deserve this more than I do, but none that will appreciate it anymore. I can guarantee you that. So thanks, Mark, and thanks, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. I appreciate it.
I know you just did this, but can we do it again? Wow. Right? This incredible class will be officially inducted this fall during our 52nd anniversary Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame Gala on Sunday, October 30th at the Music City Center. These 5 will be accompanied by an additional honoree or 2 that night. We'll share more news about that in the next few weeks. Now, with that, as far as the live stream goes, we'll be concluding that now. Let me once again say thank you for joining us. This has been the 2022 Hall of Fame inductee announcement made possible by FICO. Now, for those of us